Aha! We're live, are we? Good afternoon, gentlemen. Today is Wednesday, May 28th, 2025. Time is 3:15 p.m. And today we are talking about why we are afraid of going into the approach with full conviction. For context, I'm talking about walking over to a girl in broad daylight in public where there's bystanders, onlookers, people potentially watching, potentially judging you. And the reason this topic came about, something I've certainly touched on in the past, but I was I was doing a film breakdown earlier. I recorded some of the I recorded a breakdown of some of the clips that I got with the spy glasses over the past few weeks. And breakdown was really nice, but I did notice in a lot of those approaches that, in my opinion, the reason why they went so successful, they went so well, is because I got in front of the girl so boldly and in just such a firm, bold manner that if anybody from anywhere, from any culture, were to watch from the third person and have to guess what it is I was doing, I think 9 out of 10 people would guess that I was flirting with the girl, which is exactly what I want. I want people to be able to tell what I'm doing, and we'll get into why that is and why I think that's the effective method versus what I would say half-assing the approach, which is something I definitely did at the beginning, especially when I was getting coached by Christian out in Poland. We eradicated that more or less day 1, 2, and 3, but every now and then still happens. Yeah, it'll still be a girl that's so stunning, or it'll be a scenario that's just too nerve-wracking, and I'll half-ass the approach. I'll go in a bit scared, a bit nervous, which is pretty much most of the approaches. I'll go in scared and nervous, but yeah, some are a bit over the top. Maybe it's a group of girls, and I'll just be a little more fearful. And I'm going to explain why we do it, and then I'll explain why I think it's actually worse than if you just didn't go up at all. Now, that's kind of a stretch because I think if you're at least going in for the approach, even if it's done poorly, at least you're going in for it, pat on the back. But essentially, it's the same thing as if you hadn't gone up at all because the results will not be there, at least in my experience. All right, so I put why we half-ass the approach. So the first two bullet points: we're scared of strangers seeing and judging us. We're scared of the girl rejecting us. All right, so first reason is so when I say half-ass the approach, I mean rather than walking over, getting directly in front of her as I display on plenty of my infield videos across this channel, rather than doing that, the reason, or excuse me, I'm defining it, right? So rather than doing that, a half-ass approach would be kind of meekly coming in from the side, maybe walking along with the girl for a bit uninvited. Um, she takes a few more steps after you say, excuse me, and then you bail. You go, forget it. And you turn around and you bail. Going in with kind of like a more of a silent tone rather than being loud. And I don't mean loud yelling. I mean loud like you're talking to your coworker or your friend on the sidewalk and you're just talking, right? Versus now all of a sudden, oh no, we're approaching. Now guys might go in a bit quieter. Yeah, you might say, "Excuse me," a little meekly, hoping nobody around hears, hoping nobody around sees what's going on and can put two and two together and go, "Oh, I bet he's hitting on that girl. Oh, I bet he's going to shoot his shot." We're fearful of people knowing that, or at least I'll speak from personal experience. At first, that was probably the fear. I remember in Poland, yes, I was scared of getting rejected, but even on top of that, I was scared of strangers seeing me get rejected and judging me for it and thinking whatever thoughts they're entitled to think. And so, scared of strangers seeing and judging us, right? So that's the first bullet point. Um, we're aware that if we walk over to the girl in a very bold manner to where everybody can tell, right? Everybody looks over and goes, and caveat here, they really don't care that much about us anyways. But let's say for some reason it was a random Wednesday and they did care about us that day, then we're scared of walking over. Excuse me, you look incredible. And the strangers turning their heads and going, oh, he's hitting on that girl. And this is deeply ingrained in a lot of us. In my case, the reason why I was so fearful of it is growing up, and I've talked about this a bunch, but growing up, always ridiculed for it. That's kind of like the rite of passage for guys, at least guys in California where I grew up. You kind of you ragged on your friends every time they had a crush. Yeah, you shit on your friends every time they got rejected. Every time oh, Sally didn't want to go to prom with you. Ah, damn, you don't got game, bro. Oh, that girl didn't like you. Oh, come on, man. Like that piece right there was a lot of the fear. Family, same thing with family. Yeah, you show up to the family barbecue and they're going, Ephraim, where's the girlfriend? Oh, Ephraim, you know what? You got a girlfriend yet? Ephraim, you still haven't had your first kiss and you're what? You're 15 now? Now, to be fair, thankfully they didn't get too specific like that, but this is kind of like where we play the mental gymnastics and we go, oh no, I don't want these people to know. I don't want these people to see me getting rejected. I don't want them to judge me for it. So yeah, that's the first bullet point. There is, in my experience, the reason why I have half-assed plenty of approaches is because I'm scared of being perceived. Yeah, I'm scared of being judged, and or at least in those moments, I was fearful that the people around would hear me, see me, think, "Oh, this guy's lame," or "Oh, this guy sucks. Oh, this guy must be a predator," right? We take it to extremes. Oh, this guy must be harassing this girl. Oh, this and that. And so to mitigate that, we might go in kind of at an angle as if to say, yeah, keep walking if you want to. Otherwise, if you want to stop, sure, right? It's like that kind of energy. You're walking over, but you're going, yeah, I mean, you can keep walking if you want to, but hopefully you look at me and you stop for me versus getting in front of her and going, all right, now I've actually placed myself in front of you. So you have to make the conscious decision. Do you want to stop for me or do you want to walk straight around me and leave me in the dust where everybody can look at me and go, damn, burn, right? Damn, that guy just got fully rejected. That's tough. But it's easier when you walk in from the side and then she keeps walking and then you kind of just turn around and scurry out of there and go, okay, those people, they probably didn't see that. They probably didn't even know why I was going up to her. Maybe they thought I was a friend. Maybe they thought I was trying to sell her something and I gave up. Maybe they thought this, maybe they thought that, but certainly they didn't think I was flirting with her. Certainly they don't know that I got rejected by her, right? And so that's bullet point one. And then bullet point two, I put scared of the girl rejecting us. Yeah. So for me, top of the list was scared of strangers watching me get rejected. And then right below that was scared of the girl rejecting me. Yeah. So I'm standing in front of her and I'm firmly in front of her and I deliver the compliment loudly so that everybody can hear me. And if she decides to then keep walking or pivot and walk right around me or say I'm in a rush, I'm busy, I got to get to work, I'm not interested, I got a boyfriend, I'm married, anything but yes, I want to stand here and talk to you, then the fear is, oh no, that was a proper rejection, right? Versus you kind of go in from an angle and she keeps walking and you never complimented her anyway. So maybe you think in your head, oh, that doesn't count, right? She didn't reject me. I didn't even tell her why I was talking to her or why I was stopping to her. For all she knows, she probably thought that I wanted directions or I wanted to say something or ask her a question or blah blah blah. And I have more or less eradicated that mentality. I don't want there to be any guesswork. I don't want there to be any question as to why I was walking over. In fact, I've had some approaches that I walk over and after I say, excuse me, the girl tells me she has a boyfriend. So it was so very clear, my intentions, that she didn't even need me to say anything more than excuse me, because the manner at which I was walking over to her was very clear that, oh, this guy, he's interested in me romantically. Yeah. This guy's shooting a shot. This guy's hitting on me without me even saying, wow, you look amazing. Yeah. Just the excuse me, the boldness with which I walk over and I stop her sometimes is enough for her to go, I'm married. I have a boyfriend. And in my mind, that's a win because it was very clearly communicated why I was over there. Yeah. She wasn't going, I wonder if this guy's a lost tourist. I wonder if this guy wants directions, wants to know where's the nearest McDonald's, wants to know blah, 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 which I certainly would because I love McDonald's. But I prefer that she knows and everybody around us knows why I was walking over because in my head, that's a job well done. That means I controlled the controllables. And we'll get into why I think that's way more effective. And in my experience, certainly is way more effective. And then the third bullet point I put is we want to get in and out with the least amount of attention on us. Yeah. So that's kind of like the overall mindset of half-assing the approach is, all right, I go in half-assed. And if she doesn't stop for me, well, I'm in and out of there. I turn around and I walk the other way and nobody knows why I was going over to her. And As a result, there's less attention placed upon me, right? Versus the exact opposite is I walk over there boldly to where everybody can look and see, I bet that guy's hitting on her. And then she rejects me. And now I'm stood there looking around, making eye contact with the people that just saw me boldly walk over. And some guys might be fearful of that, right? They might be going, "Oh no, cat's out of the bag. They know my secret. I'm straight." Oh no, they know my secret. I'm actually shooting my shot and hitting on girls in person versus hiding behind a screen, behind an app. Yeah. And as silly as that sounds, in 2025, it's far more common to rely on the apps. It's far more common to, oh, social circle. Oh my God, you got to hit on your coworkers than it is to traditionally walk over to the girl and give her a compliment, right? There's all this red pill theory about, oh, you don't want to give her a compliment. You're going to seem too needy, seem too available. Oh, she's going to put you in the nice guy simp box, right? There's all this fucking propaganda going on. I'm not here to say whether or not it's true. I'm just here to give you my experience and let my results do the speaking for me. Yeah. So yeah, that's the overall mentality of half-assing it. You're going in there, maybe at an angle, maybe slightly behind her even, right? You're not projecting your voice because you want as few people to know what you're doing versus as many people, right? And so when I've gotten the best results, it's when I took the exact opposite approach. I walked over when I'm at a bus stop and there's so many people, or let's say the girls at the bus stop, right? And there's just so many people around, and they're standing there stationary. They're gonna hear the whole interaction. This next upcoming video that I got, this film breakdown, there was two of these approaches where the girl was standing at a bus stop. Yeah, that means everybody within earshot gets to hear everything going on, including me walking over, including me saying, "Wow, you look gorgeous," and having a full conversation, including me asking for her numbers, including me saying, "I want to take you out on a date." All of it. They get to hear all of it. And in my experience, that's what makes the moment magic. That's the novel kind of a moment, is not the guy that's kind of like meekly, weakly walking over and going, "Excuse me, you look good." So and especially not the guy who's meekly walking over and going, "Excuse me, do you know where Starbucks is? Could you point me to the nearest Starbucks? Also, I like that cardigan. Wow, is that beige? What a nice color. Is that mustard yellow? Wow, that looks so good. Also, I'm new in town, so I'm looking for friends. Not anything romantic, just friends. But if you wanted to be romantic, right, like that, to me, that I'm not here to shit on people, shit on techniques, but if I was watching that as a bystander from the third person, I'd go, "Come on, guy. We all know what you're up to. You could have came and asked me where's this nearest Starbucks. Why'd you go over to the hot girl and ask her? Why didn't you come up to me and ask me where's the nearest Starbucks? Oh, that's why. Yeah, it's because you didn't actually give a fuck. You could open up Google Maps and figure that out. But you were walking over there because you had ulterior motives, motives which aren't wrong by any means, right? We're men, they're women. We want what we want. It's only nature. But it's like it comes down to us accepting the nature versus trying to hide it, put it in the shadows and going, "Oh, I hope they can't tell. I hope they don't know." Yeah. So why it's worse. All right. This will be the bulk of the video. Why it's worse. So I broke this into three categories. All right. Why it's worse for you, the person doing the approach, why it's worse. And this is, I'll preface, why half-assing the approach is worse than going in with full conviction. So the first bullet is why it's worse for you. The second bullet is why it's worse from her perspective. And then the third bullet is why it's even worse from the bystander's perspective. Yeah, I think through and through, going in half-assed is worse than going in with full conviction. And I can't even think of a reason why it wouldn't be that way. All right. So the first bullet I put, why half-assing is worse than going in with full conviction. So for you, the guy that's walking over and shooting his shot, I think that it's a lot worse because it makes you in the moment, it makes you feel less bold. Right? You can feel when you're walking over half-assed versus when you're really just 100% going for it, pedal to the metal. I don't care if she walks past me. I don't care if these people hear me and judge me. I'm going to go in and I'm going to give it my best. Yeah, give it my all. Well, when you don't do that, yeah, when you walk over meekly and weakly and kind of 50%, 70%, when you do it that way, it makes you yourself feel less bold. Yeah. So I've found it plenty of times where I did it. I did the 50%, 70% approach where I'm not fully there. I'm a little scared. There's so many people around. And it makes my confidence falter. Yeah. It makes my own sense of self-worth falter because we're starting off already on the wrong foot. I'm starting off the interaction. First time I've ever seen this girl and talked to this girl. And the first impression that I'm giving of myself is, yeah, I mean, I kind of go after what I want, but not fully. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of confident. I'm kind of bold, but like not just enough to walk over here and stand next to you, not enough to get in front of you and face you. Right. So I think it's terrible on your end, right? It's still better than not going in for the approach at all, but bad in the sense that if you walk over there fully and then she stands there and talks to you and she is interested in you, that polarity is going to feel so different than if you walk over there 50% and you're kind of like standing in diagonal to her and you say something and she actually stands there and likes you. But even in the moment there, right, you're going to be like, wow, it's kind of weird. The way we're standing is a little odd, right? We're kind of like shoulder to shoulder right now. We're not facing each other right now. And so I think that's just hey, what's going on, Mo? Good to see you, man. I think that's just poor, right? That's a poor technique in my opinion. All right. Then I put her. All right. So from her perspective, why is it worse to walk over half-assed than it is to walk over with full conviction? I just put it bluntly. From her perspective, it makes you seem like a pussy, right? It makes you seem like more of a pussy, all right? Because the act itself is still very bold, right? I mean, at least in 2025 it is. Back in 1974, this is probably everyday stuff. But in 2025, oh my God, a guy is walking over to a girl in a romantic context, not to ask for directions, not to catcall her, but to get in front of her, drop off a compliment, see if she likes me back, see if she wants to go out with me. That is so crazy, right? That's so out of this world for 99% of guys in this day and age. And she's looking at that. She can understand that, right? So, firstly, bravo to you for just going over. Bravo to you for not taking the, so where's the ferry building? Oh, so where's Market Street? Can you point me to, by the way, your shoes are glowing. Yeah, I noticed your shoes. That's why I didn't walk over to the hairy old guy over there and ask him where's the ferry building. I walked over to you because your shoes, right? Bravo to you for not doing that and for directly walking over and stating your intentions clearly and from the start. Bravo. All right. But even from her perspective, she can recognize, well, this is bold, right? This guy walked over and he said, excuse me, you look great. But the manner in which you did it was cowardly almost, right? It's a bold act, but it's a coward delivery. Yeah. And so the example I love using is Christian, the guy that films Christian. He is always, well, I won't say always, but on multiple occasions, I've heard him use this example of, let's imagine you wanted to return a wallet to somebody, right? So this girl that you're attracted to, right? Let's say she dropped her wallet, or let's pick a random person, right? A random 40-year-old dude. He drops his wallet, and if you're a decent person, you're gonna pick up the wallet, get his attention, say, "Hey, you dropped your wallet. Hey, you know, there's probably all this fucking important stuff. You got your ID in here, your credit cards. You don't want to drop this, right?" So in this case, when you're walking over to this dude and going, "Bro, you dropped your wallet," are you going to like kind of diagonally go in from the side and go, excuse me," and then he looks over at you and goes, "Huh?" and then keeps walking, and then you just pivot, turn around and go, "Oh, well, I guess he doesn't want his wallet. Oh, well, I tried, but I don't want it. I don't want to look odd. I don't want to look weird." Well, if you're a standard human being, what I would consider a decent human being, then even if the guy kind of brushes you off at first, you're going to go, "Hey, stop. You just dropped your wallet. Like I've got something to tell you and it's important and you're going to want to hear this. I guarantee it." Yeah. You dropped your wallet, right? You're going to get in front of him, right? You're going to shout, "Hey, yo, dude with the scarf, old dude with the gray sweatshirt. Hey, you dropped your wallet." And you're probably not really, I mean, unless you're just extreme introvert, social anxiety, never been out of your apartment, you're probably not going to care that people are going to look at you. You're going to be aware that you're going to draw some attention. You're going to be aware that the strangers that are passing you are going to go, what the fuck? Why is this guy yelling? Why is this? But it's like your moral obligation is higher than the fear of what the people will think of you. So you're going to do what you can to get this guy's attention, give him, return the wallet back to him, right? That's a great example. So why is it any different here? Right? If you truly think that, and this is the belief part, right? This is the self-belief part that comes into play. If you truly think that and believe that you have something valuable to offer to this girl, whether that be a fun personality, whether that be a fun time, a fun experience, a fun night, a fun date, if you actually believe within yourself that that's the case, then why would you deliver that fact in a half-assed, cowardly way? If you think that this girl is going to have a great time with you, if you think that you've put in enough work into yourself that you can get results with this, then why are you going to deliver that version of yourself in such a poor way? You're not, right? So oftentimes when I'm getting a date, it's when I'm firmly, boldly getting in front of the girl, right? The wallet mentality. It's not, hey, excuse me, you dropped your wallet. It's, hey, excuse me, you look fucking incredible. Yeah, excuse me, real quick. And then she's not stopping. Oh, 2 seconds. Oh, don't worry, I'm not selling you anything, right? Guys are asking me, why are you saying that? Why are you doing this? It's persistence. It's the fact that she hasn't stopped yet. And I'm not going to give up there, right? I'm not going to give up and turn around and go, oh, she didn't stop, right? I'm going to actually put forth effort to get in front of the girl and stop her. And I'm not talking about harassment. I'm not talking about, oh, I'm following the girl down the street. Oh, I'm stalking the girl when she clearly doesn't want to talk to me. I'm talking about those first 3 to 4 seconds when she's so confused and she's going, who is this random fucking exotic looking guy in San Francisco with the blue button up? Why the fuck is he trying to get my attention? Why is he talking to me? Why is he stopping me? It seems like he's got something to say. It's that moment where guys, they question themselves and they go, well, do I want to return the wallet or should I just turn around and save face, right? Well, do I actually want to go up and give her the compliment and see if she likes me back? Or am I too scared? Is there too much pressure? Is there too much attention on me now? Am I going to give up here, turn around and call it a day? Yeah. So from her perspective, she's going, I mean, props, right? Kudos to you. You know, fist bump, dude, because you walked over and you did a bold act, but the delivery was poor, right? You didn't fully go in with full conviction. You went over and you're kind of like, okay, you got to look at me now. Are you going to stop for me? No. Okay, well, I'm not going to try to get in front of you. If you want to walk, be on your way. I'm not even going to tell you why I came up to you. That mentality, yeah, it's not going to take you far, in my opinion. All right, especially my experience. And others. All right. So the third little breakdown I put is why half-assing it actually looks a lot worse from others' perspective or from other onlookers' perspectives. I don't know. Versus if you walk over there with full conviction. All right. Now, this one is probably like the most counterintuitive, but I would say almost the most important. I think for how you see yourself is going to be the most important. To be fair, I think how she sees you is going to be the second most important, but a close third is how these other people are perceiving your overall approach. So first, we'll start off by saying most of them don't care anyways. Some of them are going to look because you're drawing attention to yourself. Most people don't do that. Most people in public, they don't speak out loud. Most people in public, they don't go up to strangers. Most people in public, especially don't walk over to girls they like and try to get a date. But you do. I do. All right. So why do I think that it actually looks a lot worse from their perspective? Firstly, it looks more pathetic. Yeah. So if I'm third person watching a guy walk over, in fact, I've done this, right? I've been out with guys, Barcelona when they're super new, right? Super new to approaching. And I've watched them walk over and they've watched me walk over and we start brainstorming the differences, right? And I'll see that they'll say, excuse me. And then the girl takes a few more steps. And then maybe they'll give it one more shot and they'll say, excuse me. And then the girl takes a few more steps. And then they'll pivot, they'll bail. They'll just turn right around and they'll go, okay, whatever, I tried. All right. So firstly, bravo to you. But I'm watching that and I'm going, dude, you barely tried. Like you barely tried to get in front of her. You barely tried to stop her. Yeah. Key here is I never physically touch the girl to stop her. This is all using my voice and maneuvering kind of in front of her, right? But never am I actually forcefully trying to stop her. But I'm giving her, at least when I go in, I'm giving her the opportunity to decide if she wants to stop. She doesn't get to decide if she wants to stop if you're walking next to her shoulder to shoulder going, excuse me, right? These first few seconds, she's just confused. She's just going, what's going on? Is this a salesman? Right? Is this guy panhandling right now? Does this guy want some money? Does this guy want directions? Even a guy that wants directions is probably going to go in bolder than just kind of like shoulder to shoulder. Hey, excuse me. Hey, excuse me. Okay, you didn't stop. All right, bye. And then they turn and they dip, right? Versus you watch somebody from the third person walk over. Excuse me. She doesn't stop. All right, let me get a little bit more in front. Hey, excuse me. Now I'm motioning to her, right? Excuse me. 2 seconds. Oh, just 2 seconds. I promise I'm not selling anything. Just 2 seconds. Yeah. Just stop for 1 second. Boom. Now she stopped. Now she's looking at me. Now she's engaged, right? Now I'm maneuvering myself in front of her. I'm squaring up with her. And all of this has happened before she even knows why I stopped her, right? But now the scene is set, right? The scene is ready for me to actually deliver the compliment because now she's stopped. Now she's engaged. And now she's actually like wanting to know why the fuck I stopped her. And so now this is the moment where I go, you look incredible. You look gorgeous. I just saw you pass by and I went, whoa, I need to go and talk to that girl. Yeah. And here I am. Yeah. I was supposed to be going to the gym right now. What's going on? You took me off course. That's how good you look. Right. And she's actually like listening and processing what it is that I'm saying. Yeah. So if I'm watching a guy do that from the third person, I'm going, bravo. I know exactly what that guy's doing. Yeah. That guy's shooting his shot. Yeah. Because it's clear, right? It's very clear. Okay. Um, so I put pathetic, right? It looks more pathetic when you go in half-ass. Second thing I put is potentially sketchy. All right. So this is where you might get yourself, if you're somebody that has never actually been taught how to properly approach and you're kind of just ad hoc doing the best you can, bravo, right? I know you have good intentions. I know you're just a guy trying to get a date, but the rest of the world doesn't necessarily know that. Yeah. So when you're going in from an angle, from you kind of walking shoulder to shoulder, and then she walks off, if I'm a stranger seeing that happen, then I'm not thinking, oh, that guy's probably hitting on that girl. I'm thinking, I have no idea what that guy's trying to do. I actually don't know, right? Is that guy is he selling her something? Is he about to follow her down the block? I don't know, right? Is that guy harmful in any way? I have no idea. But from her reaction, the fact that she brushed him off and kept walking, and then he just kind of like ran out of there, walked away so that nobody saw him and heard him, and hopefully it's buried in eternity and nobody knows what's going on. I can only imagine who knows? Who knows what that guy's up to, right? Versus the guy that's walking over, getting in front of her, standing there, delivering the compliment, even if she walks right away, even if she goes, I'm busy, sorry, walks away. Oh, I have a boyfriend, sorry, and walks away. He stood there firmly, looking around, right? Looking at the strangers that see him get rejected. And me, as the person watching that, can go, hey, at least he went in for it. Hey, props to you, man, because at least you went for it. I'm not thinking, is that guy going to follow her? Because clearly he went over, stopped her, and then let her walk away when she wasn't interested. Yeah, I'm not thinking, is that guy trying to sell her anything? Even if I am thinking that, I go, oh, that guy's a lousy salesperson anyways, because she walked away, whatever. Yeah. But you see the context difference, right? Is like, especially now you add in more mitigating factors. You add in that you're waiting for her to cross the street because you're scared to approach her right there at the intersection before she crosses the street because there's too many strangers around there and maybe it's easier if there's less people, right? So now I'm a third person stranger watching this and I'm going, wait, so that guy walked past her, doubled back. He's lingering around. Now he's crossing the street in the same direction as her. Now he's waiting even longer because there's too many people around. Now he's fine. Oh, now she's somewhat alone. Now he's finally going over to approach. Right now he's finally going. Do you see how different that would look from a stranger's perspective versus you see her and you act immediately, right? Versus you pass her once and then you double back and you walk right in front of her and you go, excuse me. Looks so different, right? It looks like you actually had something to say. You actually had something valuable to offer. Then, wait a second, why is that guy passing her this way and then doubling back and passing her that way and then circling the block and finding her again, right? Now, again, odds are the stranger's not fucking watching you this intently. But let's play along, right? Let's imagine that thing that you're so fearful of, the perception of others, right? What others are going to think of you. Let's imagine they actually were intensely just focused on you and watching you. Can't you see how different that looks? Oh, this guy's kind of like meekly walking over and tapping her on the shoulder and then going, "Hey, excuse me, you're kind of cute. I passed you 7 times before I could work up the courage to come over to you." Yeah, versus a guy that's just pedal to the metal. I'm going for it. I don't care who sees me. I really don't care. And the last bullet point I wrote down is you, and then I underlined want. You want everyone to know what you're doing. You want everyone to know what you're doing. That's what that's my example. I've walked over to girls and just said, "Excuse me," and they told me, "Sorry, I have a boyfriend." "Oh, sorry, I'm married." I didn't even tell them why I was talking to them. But just by my body language, my behavior, yeah, the firmness, yeah, the boldness with which I walked over there, she could already tell why I was walking over there. And I think that's perfect. Yeah. You want the strangers to know that you're hitting on the girl. You don't want them to go, "What's he doing? Is he harassing the girl? Is he following the girl? Is he XYZ? Is he trying to sell? Is he trying to do this? Or is he trying to collect a donation?" No, I want them to be able to look over and go, "I bet that fucking guy is hitting on it. I bet he is, man. Oh, you know what?" Some of them, there might be a negative reaction. Some of them might go, "Oh my god, I can't believe he's hitting on her. Wow, what a fucking nerd. He should just use Bumble," right? And I imagine most of them are probably going, well, firstly, most of them are probably not even registering me or what's happening or the girl. They're just worried about themselves. But the few people that are focused on me for whatever reason, I guarantee you most of them are just going, "Props." Yeah. Girls are probably going, "Wow, I wish that shit would happen to me." Yeah. And guys are probably going, "Fuck, I wish I could do that. Fuck. Props to you." Right. Even when I get rejected, even when the girl walks right past me and I feel fucking, oh, I feel icky. Wow, she walked past me. This sucks. Oh, I'm sad. Even when that happens, I want the people to know what's going on. I want the people to go, "Yeah, that's Ephraim. That's the guy who just shoots his shot. Yeah, that's that fucking guy." I don't want them to think, "Yeah, that's Ephraim. That's the guy who walks around the block 4 times before he musters up the courage to walk over to that girl. Yeah, that's Ephraim. That's the guy who waits for her to cross the street, then still can't decide. So then he turns around, then he doubles back, then he gets in front of her kind of, or he goes to the side of her and goes, 'Hey, excuse me.' And then she keeps walking and then he turns around and runs away." That's not me. I don't want people to see me as that. Yeah. If for whatever reason any of these strangers were focused on me, which most 99% of them are not, if for whatever reason they were, I want them to know why I'm walking over. And that is that's where that boldness comes from. Yeah. That's that's why you should walk over firmly. Why half-ass it? You got to go in with full conviction. And then obviously, you ask, "Okay, where's the evidence?" Firstly, you can watch me do this on my channel, plenty. But where's the results? Full University, baby. Browse the channel. All right. I'm glad that I put the channel together for you so that you can see just what I'm talking about. Yeah. So you watch me on camera line up a date with the girl. Yeah. Not just collect. I'm not just a phone number collector, right? You're watching me actually tell the girl, "I want to take you out." "Yeah. What are you doing on Saturday?" "Oh yeah, I want to take you to this bar." "Yeah, it's on Mission Street. It's on Valencia." "Oh, it's down here near Union Square." "Yeah, it's a great bar, great cocktails. You drink? You do? You're gonna love it. All right, wear something cute." And I'm actually like showing you what it looks like. Yeah, the result at least when you walk over in a bold manner. And then you also get to see me on camera when I am too nervous and I half ass it. And you get to see that result as well. 9 out of 10 times, she keeps walking, or even if she would have been interested, she's going, "Why'd he do it in such a bitch way? Yeah, why was he such a bitch about it? Why didn't he just come over in a bold way?" So that's what I got for you boys. What up, Ish? Good to see you, my dog. Yeah, we were talking about this in the community. So this is part of the reason why I decided to make this topic here was because of you, Ish. So shout out to you, man. So, anyways, yeah, boys, that's all I had to say. Really, I just had a whiteboard full of stuff to talk about. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully, it's just somewhat educational. Yeah, I'm on here to help you break through this fear because I've already broken through it. I've already been on enough dates. Not to say I'm satisfied. I'm probably going to go on plenty more in my life. Yeah, but I've had enough as far as my own fun, and I see that there's still a lot of guys that haven't reached this point, and maybe they think they can't and they never will, and it's unfortunate, you know? I used to think the same. I used to think, "Well, I'm not 6'8". I used to think, "Well, I'm not 280 pounds of pure muscle. Well, I'm not a rich doctor. Well, I don't drive a fancy sports car, so I guess I can't find success. I guess I can't line up dates." And that's just simply not the case. I've proven that to myself. I've proven that to others, and so hopefully I can help bring you up here as well. Yeah, there's enough for all of us, boys. There's plenty out here, and there are plenty of girls, especially in my experience approaching. Do you know how often girls say, "I wish more guys did this. I wish more guys did this. I wish guys didn't only swipe on dating apps. You should keep doing this." Yeah, my upcoming video has one of those where the girl goes, "I have a boyfriend, but you should keep doing this." Yeah, she said something like, "You keep going. Eventually, one of these girls will be single." Something like that. And I'm going, dude, this is straight from the source. She's telling you what she wants. Yeah. Once again, I'm not saying this is the bulletproof do or die. This is the method, but this is what brings me results. And so why would I stray from it? You know? Yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, it's um socially, what's the word? Odd. I forgot there's a better word for that. But so what? So what it is. So what it is, yeah. So, Mo, not yet. Not yet, man. Still hoping, fingers crossed. I think we're good. Honestly, I don't want to jinx it, but I think we're good. If I didn't think that we were good, then I wouldn't be moving out of this apartment and giving up my lease, right? So like that's how much confidence I have that I'll get the green light. So yeah. Anyways, all right, boys. Hope you enjoyed. Happy approaching. Yeah, keep going in. Hopefully, this inspired you to go in with full conviction rather than half-assing it. It's like if you're gonna put yourself through the difficulty of walking over, you might as well walk over. Yeah, you might as well do it full conviction, full balls. Yeah, versus taking the time and the effort to walk over just to half-ass it and go, I hope you stop, but you might not. So anyways, boys, hope you enjoyed. Keep approaching. Yeah, life is too short to not